You are now listening to the podcast for geeks and the stuff they love, where each week we'll talk about everything from anime to movies, games, and prop collecting with the people who create and love it. I'm Jeromy.
I'm Vinz.
I'm James.
And this is your Geek Fix.
Truth be told, I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but Ghostbusters, typically, the original two Ghostbusters, do you know what month of the year the first
December,
two Ghostbusters came out? You think in December?
Yeah, I think it must be around that time.
June. Both of them came out in June.
When they
so
came out.
Probably a lot of people were thinking like October and stuff like that. December is what I was originally thinking for number 2, because number 2 is focused on, there's some Christmassy stuff in there, right? And that was the market for it. And then you remember the last, the most recent Ghostbusters that came out, because I was looking back on my release and stuff. That was released originally the plan was to release it earlier in the year, and then it got pushed back. And so, it got into that November, December area. And so yeah, I kind of think Ghostbusters is a Christmas movie personally. At least the second one. Yeah. When I went and saw Ghostbusters 2, it was after, if you've heard my story, I think I've told it on here before too, that I met Sigourney Weaver's brother and stuff. He actually turned out to be, they were in our neighborhood. Actually, they're still in my dad's neighborhood. And we went to see Ghostbusters 2, and their family was there, and we sat next to them. And of course, he was embarrassed. His sister has a scene in that one where she takes her shirt off, but nothing too extreme. It's not like the uncut version of Ghostbusters or anything. But at the same time, I thought that was kind of cool. I got to go see it with Sigourney Weaver's brother. But we were going to do this. How long ago now? Like beginning of October? Halloween. Yeah. We were going to do this back then. Partly because, like, Vince, you were going. It easily. I know Vince was going to go to. That was before you went to your conference. Yeah. And so Vince has been to a few cons, and I saw him wearing his Ghostbusters outfit while meeting somebody. You want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, but do forgive me that I don't recall the name.
He's Studio Ghibli related, right?
Yeah,
Ghibli related.
It's Shinya something or other.
It goes by Bob though.
Yeah, I could call him Bob, but no, it's he's one of the animators for Studio Ghibli that does the. He's pretty well known for the wavy kind of animation. So he did like Animatrix and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So if you see like high frame rate wavy anime scenes, then it's most likely that guy.
Okay.
So we could probably show some clips or
he has,
at least
he has a style. Yeah,
he has a style. And
was Ponyo Ghibli?
Oh yeah, that's Ghibli.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
don't know if he did that. Did he? That might have been him. But that's kind of his style. Sure.
Just when I think of like high animated wavy, it's like Ponyo.
Well, it's because it was an ocean movie.
Yeah.
It's
it had a lot of.
Let me just start again. So it was Shinya Ohida.
Oh, okay.
And he's a key animator of Studio Ghibli, and he was there in Belgium, and he was part of Spirited Away, Porco Rosso, and did Ghost in the Shell 2 as key animator, and a lot of other stuff like Berserk, Fooly Cooly, some parts of it.
Oh, Fooly Cooly.
So Ninja Batman even.
A lot of darker anime that Ghibli did. Some of my favorite ones, actually. I love Spirited Away. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, so well, he's pretty well known, but I am honestly I've watched the films, but I'm not a name drop anime fan that I know all the animators. But I knew he was from Ghibli, and I knew you're a big fan, Jeromy. So I also snagged an autograph for you.
Oh, you're awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, James. Next time I meet
No, next time.
I'll do my best to get something for you.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
next time, Gadget. But yeah, it was pretty fun, and also it was really the first time I was actually cosplaying as a Ghostbuster, which was pretty cool.
Well, you did some special things with your backpack too.
Yeah, so I didn't have a Proton pack, but I had a backpack, like a military backpack, and I had a big poster cylinder where you can put your posters in. And I just put a Ghostbusters logo on it and made it look like a Proton pack, but it was actually a functional backpack, which was pretty handy because I could store all my food and drinks in it, and I even had a little like a camel pack, like those things walkers use or hikers use.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was neon green, so it looked like it was like a Slimer kind of thing. So it was all on brand.
Yeah, there you go.
And the fun thing was I actually got I got out of the train, and then some person at the train station, because I was just in full costume already, because I didn't want to bring any change of clothes going there. So people were just going, "Oh, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture? Can you take a picture with my son?" And I'm like, "Okay, fine." Like a newborn baby.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool.
Oscar 2.0.
Yeah.
That is the fun part about cosplaying.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's pretty awesome. I like that.
And then the second con I went to, I actually met the Dutch Ghostbusters. So at the first one, I met the Belgian ones, and I'm from the Netherlands. So I saw their website, and it looked pretty cool. But they use Facebook, which I didn't use until I started building an R2D2. So now I added them on Facebook as well. But they try to be in universe. So when people visit them at the con, they are the actual Dutch Ghostbusters, as if they were like a franchisee. So they have like their own little Spangler kind of adjacent person, and they have their own like map of the Netherlands where ghost sightings have been found and all that kind of stuff. And it's really
interactive. They bring all those big. I mean, so they had like there's a trap. I mean, there was a containment unit I saw behind you guys. They had like the desk with the computer and stuff set up. Did they bring all that, or is that at the conference? Oh,
no,
okay.
They bring it, and they also had a big Vigo, the Carpathian.
Yeah. I saw that. The like full size. Yeah.
Wow, so very well
cool.
put together.
Yeah, we can share some pics.
Yeah. I've seen the German when I did the last Ghostbusters thing I did, the German Ghostbusters group had contacted me, and I saw a lot of the stuff that they had. It's kind of a similar thing. They had like all the stuff that they take around with them, and they go and do actual like appearances and things like that. It's like, wow. Yeah,
and the Belgians ones do it as well. They have like a painting that changes shape, and then like a jump scare kind of thing. It's really cool. Yeah, and they have the emotion slime. So they have like a beaker with slime, and they set it up.
Bubbling and stuff? Or?
Yeah. When you scream at it, it starts bubbling. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I plan to do more with them in the future, but life got in the way, which is also why I didn't do any podcasts lately. But that's
all right. Oh. Well, something else that we last talked about when you were last on related to Ghostbusters was we talked about your video, a video that you started to make back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'm still wanting to see it. At least make just that scene. I want to see you were gonna redo the Gozer scene for the refrigerator scene, right?
Yeah. It was in the planning. It was in the planning, but a lot of stuff happened. I also got sick in the meantime, so I actually went to France for work for a week.
Wow.
Also. So been busy.
We'll talk about that a little bit more in one of our, or I should say, maybe we already did talk about
in one of our earlier
time
episodes,
does not run the same. It's not linear for us.
It's all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah, it might be a little bit different than what
wibbly wobbly,
people
timey wimey stuff.
But that's right.
Yes.
We all have on Ghostbusters outfits. That's something that people on the podcast that might be listening in their cars or whatever can't tell. I'm wearing this one's. I have two of these. I have one that's probably more like Vinz's I got from gbfans, and then I have this one's the one that I got from Spirit Halloween, which is the color's not right. There's several of these things that aren't right about it, but on the flip side, My other one gets hot. Like I get hot in outfits that have long sleeves and my other one is like a real jumpsuit, and I could maybe wear it for an hour, but like this, I could go all day because it's thin material, So I kind of like it better in that respect. And it doesn't look too bad. The colors aren't right. There's some of the things aren't located in the right places. There's no leg hose, which is not something I think that they talk. I think my camera just did something. It's not something that they talk about very much, or I hear people talk about very much. Are you aware of what a leg hose is, James?
I know what lederhosen is. I don't know what a leg hose is.
Lederhosen.
And we don't mean the construction bricks, Legos.
Yeah. Does your outfit have a leg hose there, Vinz?
Yeah, mine does. But it
does.
It was held on by magnets, but
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Did
I lost one of the magnets. Yeah.
I designed something. I was going to put it online. It was originally going to be part of my last video, but because I forgot to take it with me to Spring Ranch, I didn't publicize it very much. But and it screws together. So you have one piece that goes on the inside of the leg, another piece that goes on the outside, screws on, and then holds the hose in place.
Okay.
But again, like if you've seen Ghostbusters or you've seen the outfit, you could probably picture, I think left leg, right? On the leg, you'll see that there's an area, a hose that comes out. It's a yellow hose and runs all the way up and around up to the back. And if you thought you might have a suspicion, you might be like, that can't be what I think it is, right? What are you thinking now, James? I'd show you a picture, but
that is a pee hose.
That is what it is. Yep. So technically, you don't see the bag in the back because what it does is it enters into the suit. But supposedly there would be like a colostomy bag in the back, and then it's a hose that's because you aren't where you can go to the bathroom everywhere, or you might be sustained for a long period of time. Kind of what old firemen out uniforms used to do it. But yep, that is what it is. It is a pee hose. So there you go. That's part of the Ghostbusters outfit. If you want to get authentic,
they use a lot of fireman stuff also, like the lifeguard.
There's a lot of real stuff that they use that would be, like you said, fireman stuff. But then you have stuff like this. These are actually knee pads, women's volleyball knee pads, which I did try to go and see if I could find something at the sports stores that were somewhat close to them. But these days they don't wear. You might get some black ones that might look kind of similar, and I've seen some people wearing them. But I was pleasantly surprised that gbfans has these for a pretty good price, and I actually got gbfan ones on Amazon, and they came fast enough. But then when I went to do my video, I left them behind. All that effort trying to get stuff. I also left my boots behind and some other things. So it was like, oh well, that's too late.
The stress of getting everything.
It's hard to get the logo off as well from the.
Oh yeah, show us so you got your goggles. I want to see your goggles again there.
These are mine.
Let's see them, because those look like, tilt them down a little bit. This is what sets apart the original ones, the true ones, or what you see at the top of Vinz's right there, that indent. The problem with the Spirit Halloween ones is at the top there's no area where it kind of dips down like that. And so it's a pretty easy thing to pull apart. Otherwise, I mean, it's not too bad of a match otherwise. And there's, I've got the stickers and things that you can actually make it look similar, which I got mine upside down. There we go. But yeah, I mean, otherwise you could kind of make these look pretty accurate, but no, those are perfect. Where'd you get those from, Vinz?
I 3D printed them.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, that's even better.
Wow.
Did you make the model too, or where'd you get the model from?
No, I got them thinking. I also got this from Etsy. It's basically all the Ghostbusters stuff I have. I got these custom plates made or bought them.
Oh, that's awesome.
But these are actually based on the night fishing goggles that were used for the Ecto goggles. And these I just put on here haphazardly because I'm not done making them.
Oh, nice. Did you print the lenses too, or where'd you get that?
Well, the lenses are not in yet. They're just hollow. So for the sake of this video, I made the. You can see there's like Bondo and stuff in there, and
yeah, it still looks nice.
Not the cleanest, but yeah, we're still working on it. Trying to get the scrap right. Trying to get the.
Yeah.
Well, you can see through it. If that's what you mean.
That's all. That's all that's important.
Yeah, but
these have the light that come on, but I've got it upside down again. These have a light that come on like this, but
you can't.
Actually, I was gonna say you can't see when it's on, but I can. But at the same time, it's so bright, shining outward. Anyone you look at, it about blinds them. So I don't think they're good for that. Like you need to move the light in them if you're gonna use them. But I don't know.
Yeah, I 3D printed most of my props, so I've got a like a Motorola walkie-talkie that's 3D printed because the genuine ones are pretty expensive, and I made it so that there's an MP3 circuit board in there and a speaker. So when you click the button, it will go through the dialogue in Ghostbusters 1 on the walkie-talkies.
Wow.
So if you memorize the lines, which I haven't, you could talk to Batman. Yeah.
This is the Spirit Halloween walkie-talkie. Which
I can't get Spirit Halloween.
I treated this to make it look like leather, but this used to say, I think it had a Ghostbusters thing on the top. I don't think it said Spirit Halloween, but it didn't look authentic. The stickers came with the other stickers I bought for my Proton pack, but then also I got to be careful about how much I play, but but it does do this.
I saw it.
Yeah. So you can carry on that little conversation, but yeah,
mine does
it looks pretty accurate. Much cheaper than the real thing for sure, and easier to find.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think gbfans is and the online stuff and printing things. Really, it's pretty easy to, and especially if you're out there. I actually bought something from the Netherlands and have been working with them since that video.
Yeah.
They got really into it, which is Wasteland Industries. Those guys are awesome.
I think they're nearby,
super
actually.
nice too.
Yeah.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
You like right near you? Oh, that is awesome.
Well, it's the Netherlands. Everything's nearby.
Yeah. I was surprised how fast I got. I think I got it within a week. I think it came through. So yeah. not too far away. This is there. Do you have your pack nearby?
No, it's in the garage.
Oh, is it? That's the place to keep it, right? That way. Is it inside your car? Is it on your Proton backpack, Ernie? ready to roll.
You need it always closed for quick suction.
That's right. You got just in case, right?
Yeah.
You got to fight your ghost. Let's see how high I hold this.
That's really cool.
I couldn't play things on the other video, but because of copyright and stuff. But at the same time, so this pack though costs as much. While it was great for my video, in the end, I could have made the full scale one, I think, for the same price.
Wow, that's too bad.
So I don't know that I don't think for cost purposes, it's beneficial to get the Spirit Halloween or the 80% scale. But at the same time, it's easier to access some parts, I guess, or it's easier to, if you're not planning to print things or something like that. But yeah, it's here. Let's see. So I'll turn it on. It has different modes. It's in game mode right now.
Oh yeah, but
which
I got my stuff from Charlesworth Dynamics, like Sean Charlesworth from Tested.
Oh yeah,
he has an upgrade kit for that.
Does he is it lighting and does it also have the does it have something for kicking off your?
No, I think it's the wires and the nuts and bolts and everything like that.
Did that show up? Oh yeah. There's some smoke. But anyway, that's my favorite part. Yeah. Just turn it on just for that purpose, and then
yeah, it looks great. But I ordered the HasLab one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow, how much was it? The whole pack? Yeah. Did you see? I like what Adam Savage did with his. He left he took the cyclotron, the outside of the cyclotron, he took that off.
Yeah.
So you have the inside of the HasLab version, because the HasLab version, you can actually take it off and you can see the inner workings.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Right. So he took that off, and then the individual that helped to develop that you're mentioning, went through and helped him do lighting within it.
Yeah.
And then he kind of did it turned it into kind of like a steampunky version of the, I kind of wanted one at that point. I mean, if it's open and it shows all the intricate inside stuff, that's just,
yeah.
That's
and I think
cool.
also they mimic the scene in Afterlife where you have to push something in to make it work. But if you remove those wires internally, it will sound wonky, like in Afterlife. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When you go to try to turn it on, it makes the kind of like starting motor kind of. It's kind of
but you can leave it broken, like in the movie, like when they start it up, the cyclotron doesn't turn well, and she has to fix it. That you can leave that broken, and it will be all wonky and not correct and all that. But I'm looking forward to
you already have
one.
I can't remember. Does it come with a wand, or
no?
Because you already had a wand for it, right? You already had the Spengler wand.
I have two, just in case.
Nice.
Yeah, they were cheap at some point, but they renewed the Spengler one with a removable with a orange tip because of gun laws.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I still have two silver ones, so.
So that's the one that you could take to a con without them having to.
Well, I brought mine to a con,
and
they know it's a Proton pack or a Proton one, so they're. It's not as gun looking as like a stormtrooper rifle or anything.
Yeah. I don't know why they would have to. Yeah, for this, I can see with some weapons, like some of the Fallout stuff, for example. Yeah. I have an orange tip on the end of one of them, but yeah, on a Proton pack wand,
give me all your money, or I'll make you into a ghost.
Yeah, seems strange.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Get in my trap.
Huh. Well, that's pretty cool though. When you say cheap, at one point, you're saying like $350, or how much are you talking?
I think like 90 euro dollars.
Really?
Something like that, yeah.
So at that time, what would that have been, about $150 US?
No, like 90 US, I think. But
is it really?
Because Afterlife was delayed, but the wand was already there. Ghostbusters didn't have much hype then. So it was just Spengler's wand, and there was some backlash on it because it is not the original wand, and as in the movies, because it has some tape around it. So like day one, people were already making kits to cut off the fake tape and make it into an original one, like
to turn it back to the first. Oh yeah.
But
well, and then there was people after it was released that didn't like the stuff that they had on it, so they were buying other gaff tape to put onto it, make it look more like it did in the movie.
I got it as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
So
that's funny.
But it works with the wand. So they found a way to connect the backpack to the wand via the hose. And it will have like a 5-minute timeout before it totally shuts off. But you can restart the backpack with the wand by plugging it in. And the wand also gets powered by the backpack as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
oh,
so
that's cool.
For me, like it was, I don't know, it was $250 or $300 or something like that, or at least lower than I would spend on a full-sized Ghostbusters pack.
I mean, that's the thing. It has the Alice pack and everything on it. I mean, it's an entire.
No.
And if you want to spend the extra money, there's that stand that you can get too, right?
You get the stand, but you don't get the Alice. It is compatible with the pack.
Oh,
though.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you have to get your own Alice pack? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
They have clips for it that you can use to add to it, but it has its own straps and everything. But I assume that the model for the Alice pack is copyrighted or intellectual property or something.
Really?
Well, it's a product, so yeah.
I didn't connect mine the right way because mine was also a product of time factors, so I was kind of limited on my time.
Yeah.
And the last thing I forgot to make before literally the day that I needed to take it to another town. And if people haven't seen the video, I mean, I went out of town and went to a haunted town to try and use mine and put it together. And aside from forgetting everything, I forgot to make the motherboard for it.
Oh.
So, which before, the problem with these is they come with just cardboard. on the back, and you have to it literally comes apart. There's no way to take it off nicely anyways.
No.
But so I quickly cut out, out of particle board, I cut it out and then spray painted that same day the board to take.
Yeah.
And then because I didn't have time to get the clips or anything like that to put on the other, I literally just drilled 3 holes into the Alice pack so I could bolt it down, because I didn't have, literally those clips you have to get separately. It didn't come. Yeah. It didn't come with my Alice pack. So, no. But I wish I would have. If I could have, I would have taken more time and how I would attach it and things. But
well, actually, I snuck in a full-sized motherboard, aluminum motherboard, in my R2D2 cutting list.
Yeah.
So it will arrive next week.
So you just had to pay for the aluminum itself, and it was all. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So did you already get it back?
Next week, most likely. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that's a nice thing to have.
Yeah, it's nice to have a 3,000 watt laser cutter at work.
That's awesome. Yeah. Gotta like the tools.
Yeah.
I think before, I thought about going ahead and kind of making things better, but instead I decided, literally, if I was to do it any better, I'd probably at this point just do a new pack and do one that's full scale.
Yeah.
So, but
because of the effort involved,
it was still fun, but yeah. I don't think it would still look good at a con, and it would still be fun and things. But here's something. I'm literally making a video about today. Not really having to do with the thing itself, but I have, when I interviewed Dan Lanigan, one of the things I asked him for was some closer pictures of some of the stuff that he had. And one of the things, of course, that we looked at was Egon's Proton pack, which he owns, which is broken. So like the glass portion on the wand, it popped out. He can't get it back in. So it's just kind of hanging by the wire.
Oh, that's sad.
But at the same time, the brown wooden handles, this just has flat black. So it's just like all the rest of the plastic. It's just completely flat. There's nothing to indicate it's wood, and it's, also black. So I went through and did a special paint app that I don't know if you can tell, that actually has,
you can see it. Yeah.
It looks like wood. So, and it feels like wood. Like it really feels nice. And it was the easiest thing. And I kind of just came up with it, and it works really well. So I'm going to do a video.
And it adds so much more to it.
How to make plastic look like wood and there you can kind of see it. You can see the grain a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, so yeah, there's something that I'm going to put out pretty soon. But easy tweaks, cheap tweak. I didn't have to buy anything beyond my paint that I already had. Oh, and some lacquer. But yeah, you can do a lot of these things. The other thing I like about groups like gbfans, what are the other ones that you've used, Vinz? Or what are some other ones you've looked at?
Astromech.net.
Oh yeah, well yeah, for R2, yeah.
The RPF is pretty good as well.
Oh, RPF is perfect for finding stuff for doing yourself. Yeah, true.
I recently read
Replica Prop Farm.
Yeah, I read Adam Savage's book when I was on the train, and he did say that he laments the fact that some people try to hoard knowledge and kind of stuff. Like they would say, I'll give you the recipe that is 90% correct, but for the 10% you'll never know, because that's my secret sauce.
Right.
And that's something you see a lot in Star Wars. But for Ghostbusters, I think everybody's really in the game of sharing and caring. And when something's identified, they'll share it and even make models for it for sharing. But I notice with the Star Wars community, sometimes people will just hoard stuff, and you'll never see it again until you pay a premium.
It's hard to find.
Yeah.
It's hard to find. How did things work out, by the way, with the, we actually talked, James and I did, about, our contact with the prop store.
Yeah.
And getting some photos and things, but they weren't able to hold up something to actually have measurable, and I did request it from them, but I got the feeling from them that I was pushing my luck. They're like, what we said was already, and I actually didn't know they had already sent some pictures either. Yeah. So they're like, we already sent pictures, and those are pretty darn good.
Those are really good, Well, I name dropped them and also the CEO of Prop Store and thanked them for doing that. So I put it on Facebook, on the R2 Builders Facebook group, and I put it on astromech.net. And the person specifically requesting pictures was really over the moon, but he was moving.
Okay.
So he couldn't respond in depth, but he was like, "Yeah, this is the stuff I live for."
R2D2
hoses. Yeah. So
yeah.
and also these are never before seen angles and very close up stuff of stuff you might never see again because someone bought it.
That's the thing. And a lot of people I don't think understood when I said, I kind of felt bad because I ended up not going out and doing, that the one for England, the UK, but I mean, like literally, like this is, I mean, they do come back sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of the prop store stuff I've seen sold are things that they've sold before because somebody decided to resell it to, they're trying to trade up, they're trying to get a bigger thing now.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, something might go away forever.
Yeah. I
mean, like, Dan's probably going to hold on to Egon's. That was never a prop store thing, but at the same time, Dan's going to hold on to that Egon's Proton pack for probably the rest of his life. And, and so, your opportunities are going to be slim and far in between after that. So the fact that they're willing, I think they really want people to experience these things, and they have no problem with making sure that people are able to see them beforehand and stuff. So that's kind of cool, but yeah, that's a good source too, for sure. Did as far PKE meters?
Yeah.
There's actually a guy that has a great video out there. I was going to do one myself, and I found out he had one, although I still might do it because his is a little confusing. I think he has like 4 out there because people keep asking. But this is the Spirit Halloween one. They, for some reason, I mean, it's pretty good. It's not film accurate, but this is the other thing. I can't seem to get it to close all. Oh, there it goes. But he shows you take 2 wires out, you move another wire and solder it in a different place, and suddenly it works exactly as it should, with the exception of light placement. It works exactly as it should, where you can adjust how much it's going up and down using the button, and you can close it. You can just like Egon did in the film, you can control it. So they had the ability to make it right. They didn't. I don't know why, but at least it's an easy fix. So,
but also
people 2 of these.
People broke a lot of them trying to get the light sequence the same as in the movie.
Yeah,
I didn't go that far, but
know what's crazy? I got this on vacation a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, the small one, the
little tiny one. Yeah, you got one of these?
No,
it's crazy because the light on this. Well, here, I'll show you. So there's the lights going one way, and then you push a button. There they are. They're going. This is more accurate than the big one. And it looks great. It looks pretty good. The arms, of course.
I think
actually this is pretty good too.
Oh yeah, nice one.
So this is also the miniature. You can get these I got this at one of those kind of fan store things. But you get the little flashing red light and stuff, and then when you open it,
with the lights also,
yeah, and then when it closes, the sound is also. That's one thing also about the Spirit whatever we call it, Spirit Halloween stuff, is that when you fire with the Proton pack or with the big version of the trap and things, when you open and close it or whatever, the sounds, it doesn't know how to do that decel sound. It just goes straight to turning off and things like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, if you can make something this big to do it, I mean, it's something that's easy enough. But yeah, there's there are things out there for being able to do fun things.
And that's actually made from a shoe scrubbing machine. The PKE meter.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that actually. I'm surprised. I didn't know that. Like how much of it? The handle portion?
No, the PKE
like
meter,
the whole thing?
Not the trap.
Oh, the PKE. Oh yeah, I did know that. I did know that. Yeah. I've seen the pictures of the actual one.
Yeah.
But that's not easy to find either, though.
No.
That's like an old
old
that's
American
1950s,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Not. It's easier to just make one from scratch sometimes than it is to.
Yeah, or the Spirit Halloween one is pretty good analog also. I mean, but I thought there's this guy, I think called Frankengeek or something.
Frankengeek.
Yeah,
that's who did my pack.
Okay, yeah. I think he also makes kits for the PKE meters with.
He does. Yeah, he makes quite a few things. He's pretty nice to me considering. So he's the one that I will admit, with all my schooling and everything else, you'd think that I would read instructions, but and I don't know, maybe it's because I was in a rush. I don't know, but I got everything assembled, and it seemed to work and stuff. I didn't read how to set it up. I also didn't know you could change the modes, like that game mode and stuff.
Okay.
So I thought that the emitter wasn't working, and I kept writing him, and I'm like, I've only got 24 hours to figure this out. Is it the board? Is it this? And I'm wanting almost wanting a refund or a swap out and stuff. And he's like, well, if you read page 11, you'll see. And sure enough, that was the issue. Is there's instructions. It's like, oh, well, clearly I didn't read the instructions well enough.
Probably not the first time.
Really nice instructions too.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not. I mean, it's not cheap.
No.
But it's, his kits are well, there's so many kits actually that are out there for all these different things.
Yeah.
For being able to do. Heck, on gbfans, there's a kit for making the computer. The computer that's just sitting on a desk, but making it look like it's functioning the same way that theirs does. And
I got to get one of those.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like there's so many bits and pieces. They're so into the details.
Yeah.
That it's great. But a couple of things I want to ask you guys about related to Ghostbusters also is this year, by this point in time, by the time that people will be watching and listening to this, this will be old news. But at the same time, this year, there was a new, not a bed and breakfast. It's what do you call them? A Airbnb that was opened in America. That is a Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters station, the fire station, with the cars, with the car in it, with all the details, with all sorts of things inside of it that are, every little Easter egg you could possibly imagine. Looks awesome.
And you got to stick
it. You can go online and check it out. Yeah, guess how much it is to stay there too. I've got to be careful because I don't want to say the wrong amount, but I think the first night it was only like $11.
Oh, really?
And then I think now it might be up to like 40 or something like that. But
it's still cheap.
But even still, though,
you don't get the whole place. You get one of the cots. You get one of the beds that's in it. Yeah, and I imagine that people don't go to sleep when they go there. I think they're running around the place and checking everything out and filming things. I'm sure that there's, but is it more like a hostel? Like, good luck getting in.
Is it more like a shared hostel sort of thing?
It almost is in that style, although you probably don't have to worry about people shivving you and taking things. Or taking you downstairs and torturing you.
Grabbing you by the pee hose.
Yeah. I think it is kind of that style, though, where it's more communal living.
Oh, yeah.
But on the flip side, I mean, like I said, I doubt that people are going there to sleep anyways. I'm sure that, it's mostly for fun and hanging out and things like that. They have the in Ghostbusters, they had an arcade basically on the same floor as their living quarters and things. They have all of the electronics and all the lab stuff that they had, including the colander hat, all that stuff. So I mean, I think it would be fun, but if you haven't made a reservation for a year from now, you probably won't be able to do it.
Oh, even still, $40 a night is incredible.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. It's for having fun someplace. This is not in New York or anything either. I'm trying to remember where it actually is, but at the same time, kind of fun.
It's hard to get a B&B that is cheaper than that here.
No, although I did see who's the you can stay in somebody's shoe closet, like a famous rapper or somebody or a basketball player. I can't remember whose it was. Their shoe closet, which has like hundreds of really expensive shoes, but then has a bed inside of it. Has a pool outside at the shoe closet.
All right.
And you can stay there also for about $40 a night, and it's only you that would be staying there.
Up until the pool, I was going to say it's the Harry Potter experience.
Yeah, but I always expect like a big Mother Goose sneaker where you can live in.
Yeah. Listen. Oh, here's where that is. Let's see here. So it says in Oregon. I guess you have to go to Oregon if you want to see. If you want to stay in the Ghostbusters
And then you can
Airbnb.
you can catch the ghost that died of dysentery.
Yeah, it looks so realistic though. I mean, it looks just like the real thing for sure.
All right, cool.
So well done. So
yeah.
So I don't know if you do come out, then we'll have to
have
to hook up in Oregon and go do the Ghostbusters thing. How much do you guys know about Ghostbusters 3?
Nope.
The official 3 or the one that got away.
The original 3. I mean, this is not something you can go see because it was never filmed, right? But I mean, the plan was, the thing I like about the original Ghostbusters and the Ghostbusters group, I think really the reason why the 2016 was so awful too, is because in the original Ghostbusters, who they were in the movie is closer to who they were in real life than I mean, not getting into weird stuff with Bill Murray, but at the same time, you've got Dan Aykroyd. I mean, all the books that he quotes inside of Ghostbusters, he's really read.
His parents were like paragnosts or something.
I think he had a psychologist for one of his parents.
I thought they were into
he studied a lot of things. That like he's got a lot of like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. When they came up with the original Ghostbusters, he invited Harold Ramis and I don't know if Bill Murray was there, but I mean basically down to his basement, which looks like a bunker, and has all this military stuff all around it and things like that. And he pitched the first Ghostbusters, and they came up with all the basic ideas of what they turned into the movie. And when they did some of their first writing, that was also where it was. But I mean, like, he knows everything that's on the Ecto-1, for example. He knows what they are, what they're supposed to do. He came up with what had to be on there. Yep. He kind of overspent their budget because this was supposed to be a low budget movie. This was a low budget movie, actually. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like it, but it was. He had, there was a purpose behind every little piece, and Harold Ramis is close to the other characters he played around that time, like Stripes and stuff like that. I mean, everybody was being themselves in that movie, and that's part of what was so likable about it. But at the same time, when it came to Ghostbusters 3, Dan had an idea, and it got pitched pretty much since from the time of Ghostbusters 2 until the game came out.
Yeah.
And there was plans. Will Smith was going to be in it. Some other people. I'm trying to remember.
So of course, a giant robot spider would appear as well.
That's right. With a spinning head and stuff. Yeah. Now he there's a couple other people that are both died by then too, before that movie could ever be made, but that were going to be in it, some comedians. But I mean, the whole idea was handing it over to some new Ghostbusters, but they were like the ones that were going to be in it and mentoring these new Ghostbusters, kind of along the lines of where some of the cartoons went later on, But the whole idea of the show was that the hell was full, and that it was so full that it starts bleeding over as far as kind of multiverse wise, like it starts bleeding over into real life. Okay. So it would cut in the first scene. His plan was that he was going to have traffic in New York, and it shows the traffic, and then it switches where you can see like demons and things like that. And then when it switches back, everyone's super mad. So the whole idea is that a lot of the anger and things that's going on had to do with the fact that hell was overrun, and that Satan's looking at kicking out a bunch of people out of hell and sending them back to Earth. And so that meant that, there's going to be all these demons and things walking around. And so the Ghostbusters would actually have to go to hell in this one in order to be able to fight things and stuff like that. Oh, wow. And he had all these ideas that were tied to it. And he left Sony Pictures, actually emptied out his room, his office there and things, because he was so frustrated with the fact that they kept trying to pitch and trying to change and things like that. And then a group not associated with Sony or anyone else or with the Ghostbusters brand at all developed a game, which originally there was going to be, they were going to kind of shut down completely. But in the end, they actually turned that into and purchased it and turned it into, the Ghostbusters video game, which had all the original actors in it and is considered canon, right? For the rest of that's why that's really where the whole venting of the prop that I have and the sounds that I have on it came from, is from that game, which I remember playing, but it's been, I don't know, when did that come out? It's been a while.
Like, it was on the Wii as a cut down version.
Yeah,
you had the cartoon version, and
then you could use the controller. Yeah. I played it on. I thought I played it on PlayStation. I think that's where it came out.
I think I got it on PC a while back then when it came out. But I love the fact that they had all the actors there doing the voices and everything, and that was great. So that
and they wrote the storyline that kind of it parallels, which does have some pieces from that Ghostbusters 3, idea built into it. So so technically that's where your story kind of goes as far as Ghostbusters 3 before.
So now you need a Hellboy Guillermo del Toro Ghostbusters crossover.
No, that would be special.
That would be actually kind of cool. Yeah. Well, if you are out there listening to this and you're like, hey, how come you didn't talk more about 2016? Because I actually liked it. Or you're like, or how come you didn't talk about the new Ghostbusters or the real Ghostbusters or anything like that? Or the comics, yeah. Actually, the comics. Here's a little interesting fact. PKE meter not mentioned as a PKM meter, except in the first time it was mentioned as such was in the comic. So yeah, little interesting fact, and then into it popped up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, listen for next time. Thumbs up, whatever.
If you've enjoyed this podcast and want more, stay tuned for that. But also check out our channel and join the community on YouTube that goes by the same name, your Geek Fix. Be sure to check out Vinz on Twitter at MassiveDMG_ and on his YouTube channel, MassiveDMG. Check out James at Mr. Malto4 on Instagram and the Replica Prop Forum. We also want to hear from you, so be sure to send your questions, stories, and other projects to yourgeekfix@gmail.com. In the meantime, this has been your Geek Fix.